Michael gazes at the sky's colors. Suddenly, there's a photo and a woman's scream, and Michael wakes up. Tonight, he heads to the casino where he's worked for 3 months. He's learned the layout and camera spots, amusing employees by knowing their preferences and routines. He has also grown quite familiar with the regular customers who frequent the establishment. Being a diligent employee enables him to serve VIP customers, and every now and then, he overhears confidential information. Following his transformation, Michael takes off all the prosthetics he wears on his face to keep his identity safe. It turns out he's an ally and has been working at the casino to gather inside information. He installed small devices in machines and tables. After 3 months of work, he's ready to earn money. In a new outfit, he enters the casino and uses his phone to activate a gadget that makes cards come out of a shuffle machine. Then, at a table, he uses magnetic dice to win, having installed a button to change the outcome. He enters a VIP client's room, who is asleep due to a sedative Michael put in his drink. After the card trick chaos, VIPs move to the private room. Michael steals this man's gold passment and clothes. Michael goes to the service elevator and inserts his own chip in the control panel. When the employee moving the new cards finds him, Michael acts lost and spins a VIP lament, so the employee takes him to the right floor via the service elevator. Michael uses his phone to stop the elevator and turn off the lights. As the employee seeks help, Michael swaps the box of new cards with his own hidden box. Eventually, Michael reactivates everything and finally makes his way into the VIP room, where he takes a seat at the main table alongside Alex. Michael also wears special glasses that allow him to see the numbers on the modified cards he has hidden. Once the game begins, he ensures not to win every single round so as to avoid raising suspicion and to encourage other players to bet more. However, without realizing it, Michael's cards change unexpectedly, and he ends up claiming all the money he's accumulated so far. The others do the same, and Michael is stunned as his hand loses due to different numbers. The third player wins and leaves with the money. Suspended, Michael chases him, grabs the bag, but finds papers inside. Suddenly, the lights go out and the man's face changes, showing he's not the player. Michael followed the wrong person, Guy. The guards arrive and capture Michael as Alex escapes unnoticed. Michael is tied up in a storage room, beaten by a guard before casino owner Victor demands the money. Michael pretends to be a VIP, gets hit again, and explains someone else took the money. Victor doesn't believe him and gives him a week to return the money or face consequences. Terrible. Later, Michael goes to a remote casino where guards hold him at gunpoint. But they continue when their boss Leon greets Michael as an old friend. Over drinks, Michael sees a hug with a symbol like Alex's tattoo. He asks its meaning, but Leon explains what happened first. Then Leon explains that there are individuals like psychos and wizards who naturally have the ability to enter a special room within their consciousness to eliminate supernatural activity. In Alex's situation, he appears to possess the power to alter what others perceive. Leon uses a book with illustrations of the legend to explain that everyone in the world is connected by a collective unconsciousness, and that all myths come from here. People with special powers can leave their consciousness and enter the collective one. It's like an alternate universe with infinite possibilities and all human knowledge. Normal people can enter, but need a special amulet, like a compass, to leave. Michael laughs, not believing it, and Leon gets angry. He gives Michael the book, listing people with powers, and tells him to find Alex alone. The next day, Alex meets Gordon, gives him money, and Gordon shows a compass, asking Alex to teach him the magic door. Alex refuses, saying he likes working with Gordon and doesn't want to lose him. Gordon needs a trusted partner to help navigate. Michael asks Leon about the people on the list. Leon assures him they're real, having witnessed their powers. This sparks an idea, hiring people with powers to beat the casino for money. First is Eric, a wealthy telekinetic who refuses to work. Then there's Tony, a cab driver who can control electronics. It's usually minor things, like speeding up meters, changing traffic lights, or turning on police sirens. Michael visits them and convinces them to join a money-making team. Then there's Kevin, a hypnotist whose parents are in a mental institution. Doctors profit from him as he programs people to manage their depression. Michael visits him at the institution and invites him to escape. When a doctor intervenes, Eric distracts by inciting patients to protest for better conditions. As they block the doctor, Tony uses his power to take an ambulance and open the door for their escape. The following day, they begin practicing how to effectively use their powers for sorting at the casino and decide on the specific gestures for silent communication. Eric plans to use his telekinesis to manipulate the dice, visualizing himself moving the dice manually in his subconscious space. Meanwhile, Kevin will hypnotize other players or employees, and in his subconscious space, he imagines himself manipulating an ice statue. Lastly, Tony is assigned to monitor the cameras. When he uses his power, his subconscious becomes a storm with chips around him. They play some games with Leon's group, and it starts well, but soon turns chaotic. Kevin accidentally creates an armored clerk, and a customer gets upset, pulling a gun. Tony panics and short-circuits the camera. Michael tries to calm the English client, realizing they need better communication. The next day, at a funeral, sad women harass Veronica for help. Suddenly, a vehicle arrives, and men in black get out. Terrified, Veronica flees, dropping her phones, which Michael picks up. When another vehicle with strange men shows up, Veronica hides in an abandoned building until they leave. Michael gives her the phones, claiming he's not with them. Veronica tries to leave silently, but Michael follows, asking questions. Veronica, who can read minds, says she's not interested in his plan. At that moment, a man discovers them, and Michael holds him off as Veronica escapes. The others hang him in an alley, but Michael shows up on the roof and aids his escape. The following day, Gordon follows Alex's directions to start his training. A hypnotist finds him and swiftly sends him into the subconscious, where Gordon gains the power to control anyone he desires. As Gordon lies unconscious on the floor, he compels a street artist to replicate a famous painting. Then, he takes over a museum worker's mind, making him swap the counterfeit painting with the genuine one, scheduled for transfer to another museum. While the fake painting is being loaded into a van, Gordon awakens and purchases the renowned art piece of the mistaken painting for just a few dollars. None of the people he controlled remember what happened. Back to Michael, he introduces Veronica, explaining she can read and transmit his thoughts. She'll relay Michael's instructions as they play. To practice, Michael tells her to enter his subconscious, a unique forest. He imagines Eric ringing the city bell, and Veronica sends this to Eric's mind. After Eric acts, Michael wants two people to leave shouting for help. Veronica tells Kevin, who quickly removes it. Tony is asked to short-circuit most lights, scaring more people and making birds fly away. Finally, Michael tells Veronica to warn people on the street about an upcoming earthquake. As Veronica shares the suggestion with others, the way she combines her words with the bizarre actions caused by the rest of the group convinces everyone that an earthquake is actually happening. People start to panic and run away, leaving only Michael's team behind. Later on, Michael sneaks some drinks from a nearby restaurant while outlining his plan. The idea is for them to enter the casino using fake identities, with each member arriving at separate times. The exception is Veronica, who will act as if she is Michael's fiancée. This means they must shop for fancy clothes and see a stylist for a makeover. With just 2 days remaining, the team goes to the casino. Michael plays while Veronica, the passive trophy wife, focuses on conveying the message. Tony manages the cameras while also playing the slots. Eric, one of Michael's opponents, intentionally makes everyone lose so Michael can win. After winning enough, he and Veronica switch tables where Kevin controls the employee. Initially, the plan is slow, but Eric drinks too much, tires of losing, and manipulates the roulette wheel to win. He also shouts at Michael instead of sending thoughts. Tony at the entrance gets too excited and controls too many machines at once. The guards grow suspicious and stop Eric and Tony. As they approach the elevator, the team is there. Kevin hypnotizes the guards to leave. Inside, Michael scolds them, saying they could be killed for hitting her. The team realizes they followed Michael's orders and head to the last table. Michael organizes everything while Tony manages the camera, Kevin supervises the employee, and Eric takes care of the parts. The plan succeeds, and Michael makes $10 million. The group then heads to the beach to celebrate with drinks and a bonfire, but Veronica distances herself. Michael checks on her and suggests they could collaborate a few more times to earn more money. But Veronica isn't interested. They argue and insult each other. Meanwhile, Alex dines with Gordon and says they must cancel lessons. Alex insists he can't teach him until Gordon finds a partner. Gordon asks about Michael, and Alex mentions the new team. Gordon, unhappy, says they must intervene. The next morning, the team is chased on the road by an SUV. As the mysterious vehicle gets closer, Tony maneuvers around it, attempting to shake it off. However, a second SUV soon joins in the pursuit. Within minutes, the SUVs encircle Tony's vehicle, compelling him to halt right in the middle of the road. Victor steps out with his men, who sees the whole team, grasping their wrists tightly. Michael tries to explain that they possess the money, but Victor's interest has now shifted more towards their unique powers. Without abilities, Michael is shot off a cliff, his body flying into the woods. The group is devastated, hiding in their subconscious to mourn. They don't know it's a trick. Michael agrees and is imprisoned to see Gordon, his father, who cuts off his wheels. Michael worries, realizing his father was behind it all. The guards imprison her, and Gordon tells Michael he ignored her for 10 years, so this was the only way to get her attention. Gordon reminds him they dreamed of finding the special door as kids, and now he knows its location. Later at Victor's casino, Tony, Kevin, and Eric are forced to work to make customers lose. One afternoon, they find a plumber in their bathroom. It's Michael in disguise, noticing Veronica's absence. They explain she refused to work for Victor and has been in a coma, stuck in her subconscious since she saw Michael die. Tonight, the lights illuminate the gaming tables as the group gathers around Victor to announce their farewell. The guards promptly escort him to a storeroom, leaving a novice to guard the door, unaware it's Michael. He parts from his friends and shares his casino knowledge to devise a plan. Kevin stops a guard from using his keycard on the electronic lock, while Michael uses a borrowed key to jam the elevator into the building. The next corridor has lasers, so Michael lets the guys handle it while he searches for Veronica. He wears a mask he left earlier and sets off a gas bomb to lure the guards. Then he carries an unconscious Veronica from her room. In the corridor, Tony disables several lasers, but not all. Now, Eric has enough space to carefully move through them without touching. He gets him across and finds the casino bag, using his powers to open it. The lasers light up and trigger an alarm. Michael reunites with the team as guards try to reach the corridor, but the elevator fails and a hypnotized employee shoots them. The man is brought in, and guards enter as Eric opens the door. The bag, so the team clings inside and shuts the door before the guards can hit them. Victor orders his men to kill the team once they exit. Later, Michael says their plan fails unless Veronica wakes. The others warn him he might die entering subconscious space without powers, but Michael insists on going. Kevin hypnotizes Michael, who floats in a white space. Key objects from his life and past conversations appear, reminding him of his mother's death and his illegal activities, including prison time. Veronica's voice calls him selfish. A door appears. Michael crosses it, landing in a vast field with many doors and vibrant sky colors. A storm's coming, so he runs to take cover behind a door. The storm catches up, nearly hitting him, but he raises his hand and freezes it. With a gesture, he lets it fall and clears the field. Michael then sits, focusing on memories of Veronica. Suddenly, the ground bursts and transforms, turning the field into the city. Michael takes the stairs and discovers Veronica gazing at the vibrant colors in the sky. As he attempts to approach her, he encounters a force field surrounding her. He presses against it several times, shouting, but Veronica remains unresponsive. Michael then attempts to send her his thoughts. This action results in the buildings collapsing, and he finds himself on barren ground in the rain. The force field continues to shield Victoria, but now she is able to hear him. She says she won't return to the real world, as no one's waiting for her. Michael explains he's alive, but she doubts him, so he sends the memory of their meeting. The chase repeats, and on the roof, Michael says she's all he has. Veronica takes his hand, and they're in the field with doors. They kiss, and Veronica pulls away from a door, waking up in real life. But since it's Michael's first time, he must find his way out. A flashback shows Gordon teaching Michael about subconscious space, wanting him as a partner to start a job using the doors. He gave him a compass and promised help. Now, Michael sees Alex come from a doorway and follows him, as the place becomes a casino. Michael closely follows Alex, and together they watch the dramatic scene of what appears to be his supposed death. Alex then explains the process of accessing someone's mind, putting himself and Michael into the mindset required. At that moment, Michael suddenly wakes up inside the safe and declares that they are leaving with the money. Tony proceeds to deactivate the door, and the entrance opens, revealing an empty corridor. It turns out that during his time in the subconscious space, Michael had entered Victor's mind and convinced him that the team had already made their escape with the money. Victor ordered his guards to find them, explaining the empty halls. The team escaped with the money and met Alex on the beach. He has a proposition, while someone conjures fire in their hand. 3 months later, Michael works with Gordon before two hypnotists send him into subconscious space.